There's a fundamental rule that applies in all criminal cases, including this case. You must consider Ms. Reed to be innocent unless the prosecution is proved beyond a reasonable doubt through evidence presented during the trial that Ms. Reed committed the crimes charged. A charge is proved beyond a reasonable doubt if, after you have compared and considered all the evidence, you have in your minds an abiding conviction to a moral certainty that the charge is true.
Forget what Father Brennan said. We were not born in sin. Leave a note on your bed. Let your mother know you're safe. And by the time
What does this read?
Yep, if she pleads out, it will end. If she fights it, it will be an episode.
Who's she?
I'm assuming that would be Miss Reed.
Baby, come on.
So you have a situation where a man is laying dead or dying in the front yard of your sister's house. You see nothing in terms of life inside the house. Lights aren't coming on.
They were sound asleep.
They weren't coming outside, were they?
Because they were asleep.
You didn't know if they were asleep. All you knew was there was a severely injured man on the front lawn of their house, and your sister didn't answer the phone, not once, but twice. Did you think your sister might have been in peril? Did you think to go inside the house and check that they're okay?
I had no reason to think that they weren't okay.
You had no reason to believe they weren't okay. A man was dead or dying on their lawn, and your sister's not answering the phone. And nobody is coming out to the chaos of Karen Reed screaming on the front lawn. You didn't think there was some reason to believe they could have been in peril?
I'm in the driver's seat of the black SUV in front of me.
You saw one person inside the car at that time.
Correct, sir.
It was a woman with long hair in the driver's seat, correct?
Correct, sir.
And she looked like she was alone.
Yes.
Over the next few hours, according to your report, the phone of John O'Keefe could be in the house, correct?
Based on the low accuracy information, yes.
The answer is yes.
Yes.
And it was then that you looked over and you saw a female in the driver's seat, correct?
Yes.
You certainly did not see a 6-foot-tall off-duty police officer in the SUV at any point on Fairview Road.
Correct.
At 10:41 a.m., you called the medical examiner's office to inform them that Mr. O'Keefe, quote, was struck in the face with a cocktail glass, or at least appeared to be.
I did examine his lower extremities. That is protocol in any case of suspected impact with a motor vehicle. So I did examine his legs, and I did not see any evidence of an impact site.
I personally did not go in the house.
Tell them the guy never went into the house.
You did not secure that house or remove the occupants, did you?
I did not know.
You did not secure the yard as a crime scene.
That's correct.
You didn't conduct any search of that house.
No, I did not.
When you walked in the house, didn't see the dog?
No.
When you walked up the stairs, no dog?
No.
Walked down the hallway, no dog?
No.
Walked into Brian and Nicole's bedroom door, no dog. There's no sign of a dog at all in Brian and Nicole Albert's house at 6:41 a.m. when you walked into that house, correct? Or 6:40?
I don't remember seeing the dog.
And this was a 70-pound German Shepherd. You didn't take any photographs of the interior of that house.
I did not.
You didn't ask a forensic criminalist to join you and process the house, correct?
That is correct.
You didn't set up a crime scene log to determine who is coming in and going out of the potential crime scene.
I did not.
Next asked by Mr. Lally in front of the grand jury, quote, what, if anything, did she, Miss Reed, ask Miss McCabe while they were sitting in the back of the cruiser that you heard? Painted a very, very detailed picture in front of the grand jury, didn't you?
Yeah.
Except it's not true, is it? You never heard her, my client, ask anyone to Google anything, did you?
I did not.
And yet, that's what you testified to under oath, under penalty of perjury, in front of the grand jury, didn't you?
I did.
And that was a false statement.
Technically.
Technically?
Yes,
It's like being a
technically.
little bit pregnant. Ms. Roberts?
She is telling him everything.
Everything is in all caps with an exclamation point, correct?
Yes, it is.
We don't know exactly how he was struck, so we don't even know the exact impact speed. We just don't have enough information in this case to determine all that information.
You swore to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, correct?
Correct.
And that included the whole truth, especially something as momentous as an admission from my client that she hit him. I wouldn't forget that.
I'll never forget it.
In your entire grand jury testimony, you never said, my client said the words, I hit him. Not one time. Not one time, Ms. McCabe. Not once. Do you know, through any other means, that that vehicle was just a mile and a half away at 5:35 p.m. before you ever found the first piece of taillight? Did you know that?
I did not know what time it was, sir.
Thank you. Former Trooper Michael Proctor. He was assigned, ultimately, as the lead investigator, wasn't he?
Case managers. There's no leading investigation in any direction.
Michael Proctor was the lead investigator for the investigation into the death of John O'Keefe, was he not?
Yes.
The only piece of bumper glass to match anything else in your analysis matched what?
Item 3-3, piece E, was consistent with the sample that I took from item 7-14.
Which is the single piece of glass recovered by Michael Proctor, correct?
Yes.
But not a single piece of glass, nothing that you analyzed coming from that bumper matched the cup.
There was no physical match comparison to the cup.
Mr. Gallagher, you have already established that you were at the scene early morning, January 29th, 2022. We've seen the video of the leaf blower. You did not recover or see a hat, a man's hat?
No hat. No, sir.
You did not see or recover a man's shoe?
No, sir.
In that 50 square foot area, you did not see a single piece of bright red plastic taillight material. As a matter of fact, you didn't see 46 pieces of taillight material, either clear or bright red plastic, in any part of the area that you searched.
No, the only thing we discovered was the blood sampling in the glass.
Personally participated in 2 searches at 34 Fairview. The reality, Sergeant, is that no report was written about any of these searches until November 4th, 2023. When Trooper Tully told you that the vehicle was en route and could not provide you a photograph at, let's call it 5:50 p.m., did he tell you that the vehicle had actually been secured at Canton PD about a mile and a half away at 5:35 p.m.?
No, he did not say that, sir.
It was just a question of how many times the I hit him came up.
You said it was 2 times last year?
The previously testified possibly to 2, but it was 3.
You're telling this jury that your memory is better now than it was a year ago when you testified about the exact same circumstance, correct?
Yes, sir.
We'll get more info tomorrow. Don't want to text about it.
What does that say?
Right.
Walk from the taillight, were you able to generate a DNA profile from that item?
I was.
Now, that profile, in addition to Mr. O'Keefe's profile, also had 2 unknown contributors, correct?
Correct.
Which was the right instep of the sneaker, correct? You see that in your report?
Yep.
You noted how many contributors of DNA?
Yeah, it was interpreted as at least 5 contributors.
Yeah, 12:45, hello. Because they were still there. Question, so the dark SUV was still outside outside the house at 12:45, answer at 12:45. That's what we actually testified to in June 2020.
That's what that says, correct.
Did you look into any internet connection between the defendant's phone and the router and the internet connection at Meadows Ave, John O'Keefe's home that night?
Yes. At 12:36:39 a.m., the defendant's phone auto connects to the Wi-Fi.
The trial starts April 22nd. After the trial starts and after witnesses, of course, are appearing, you prepare another report, correct?
Correct.
And that's your May 8th report.
Correct.
Right in the middle of this trial.
Correct.
You enlarge the number for the 21 to 29 range. That's bigger than what it was in your first report. When you were looking at this vehicle and doing your examination, that the vehicle went from Canton to Dighton and then towed back from Dighton back to Canton. The glass pieces that were just perched on the bumper would have traveled about 60 miles before you saw them. You located an apparent hair on the rear right quarter panel of the vehicle. You remember the journey we talked about with regard to Canton, Dighton, Canton? Do you have any knowledge whether that hair was part of that journey? Do you have any knowledge?
I do not.
It states BS in Mathematics and Business Administration, correct?
That's what it states there, yes.
And you do not have a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics and Business Administration, do you?
No, I do not.
Bachelor of Science, paren, B period, S period, comma, Applied Mathematics and Scientific Computation, 2016-2018. Your Bachelor's of General Science in Mathematics and Business Administration in 2022. So this is a third example of a document that incorrectly states that you have a Bachelor of Science when you do not. Are you aware that there's no degree at the University of Alabama, Birmingham, called a Bachelor of General Science in Mathematics and Business Administration?
Very frequently, patients that are drunk fall down on ice sidewalks and could develop, lacerations in their head. So there are various ways that people fall, resulting in head injury.
You were contacted by another law enforcement agency that was not Massachusetts State Police and not Canton Police Department. During the course of that interview, those officers informed you that it is a crime to lie to them, even during an interview. And at that point, you told them that you were not Jennifer McCabe. They asked you who you were, and you said, I'm Nicole.
I thought they were like selling something, so I was like, oh no, I'm not the homeowner.
You told them that you had contacted your husband, Matt McCabe, and you told them that you had called Carrie Roberts.
Nothing more than me calling and saying, hey, did they come to your house? We just give each other the heads up, hey, somebody's coming, because we're just like normal moms. Like when you're when the ice cream truck was at the street next door, and I'm saying, did the ice cream truck come?
They asked you, was there anyone else that you contacted in that 10-minute period before we got a chance to talk to you? Mm-hmm. And your answer was no, correct?
Correct.
And that was a lie.
Going to be completely honest, I hadn't brushed my teeth.
You had forgotten. You remembered Matt and you remembered Carrie, but you had forgotten the others that you had just contacted maybe 30 minutes before. So when you said no, that would be, by definition, Ms. McCabe, a lie. There were 5 people that you contacted.
Is it fair to say you have some doubts about how the deletion occurs?
That's fair.
And you believe your doubt is reasonable?
Yes.
Under the circumstances?
Yes.
Honor and Integrity by Michael Proctor.
Is that a question? I'm sorry.
Sure is. Everything I say is a question.
The investigation was conducted with honor and integrity, and all the evidence pointed in one direction and one direction only.
So, Sergeant Buchanan, you don't want to answer my question, correct?
I will answer your question, absolutely.
Do you think this case was handled with honor and integrity by Michael Proctor, Sergeant?
The investigation was handled with integrity by Michael Proctor.
Attorney Brennan asked you questions moments ago, of which included the words, did I hit him, could I hit him? You had that information before you issued your final findings in this matter in April of 2022.
Yes, I did.
Even though you had all that information, you still were unable to conclude the manner of death of Mr. O'Keefe, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
If the sun